Oh, hello there. Yes, well, good grief. Will the rains never come? Yes, they will, probably. Probably on, well, I don't know, probably tomorrow or maybe Thursday, yes. As long as it's not that sort of classic English thing that T.S. Eliot wrote about, where you get thunder but no rain. Yes, well, that was the wasteland. Ooh, metaphors ahoy. Anyway, I thought today we'd talk about, well, more of the fallout from Glastonbury and everything else. It has given our commentators a brilliant chance to grandstand about so many things, and it's something they do love to do, don't they? These people with proper jobs, not like the rest of us. So I was intrigued by this with Carl Benjamin. Yes, everyone's favourite. Insert your own word here. Carl Benjamin. Yes, him. Yesterday, zoom in on any crowd photo of Glastonbury, and you'll find the profile attendees is basically middle-aged, middle class, and middle Englander. There is no possibility of rebellion, for they are the system itself. These people populate the desk jobs that make things work. Yes, he had to clarify the end of that statement because it makes them sound like they're useful. Whereas in fact, these are people who, pay a lot of tax and keep the country running, bring up children, that kind of thing. Yeah, the middle classes, who normally are considered as taxpayers. But if they go to Glastonbury, they become something else instead. But the thing that got me about this, and it's a much, much longer thread, I will leave a link down below, you can have a bit of a chuckle yourself to it. But Carl makes loads and loads of assumptions about the people that go to Glastonbury. And yes, they do tend to be middle class because, in order to get time off, because you're not in a 0 hours contract and actually be able to afford the ticket, you're likely to be. But I don't know about you, but I would have thought that these people would be considered, that whole thing about, taxpayers or maybe stout patriots. But of course, being the basic misanthrope that he is, Carl can't actually manage that because he doesn't really like anybody that isn't like him, like the rest of those types of commentators. I mean, there's a sliding scale of how awful you can be, because Carl, of course, isn't a woman, which is a definite plus, and isn't gay, which is a definite plus, and, isn't brown. So, he scores so many points there. But I was intrigued by this notion of sneering at people that are middle class in sort of white collar jobs, because by definition Carl works in the media and he has a pretty rubbish degree from a pretty rubbish university, so he tends to work from home a great deal, doesn't he, realistically? Still, he's completely different from all those other people because he's just better. Yes, we can certainly see this with all of his tweets that he puts out. But I don't know, I just find this kind of stuff about a moral high ground just very, very odd, because Carl is basically supporting a genocidal regime, and he thinks that people that don't support a genocidal regime somehow are doing something wrong. And of course they're not doing anything wrong, so we can just call them smelly. That's the classic thing, isn't it? Except of course, being nice middle class people, they wouldn't be. And they would, a lot of them, most certainly look at Carl and have opinions, which I think is the basic thing that he doesn't like. So many of them do this. They don't have proper jobs. They can only basically sneer at all of those people that do actually keep things going. Yeah, I get a lot of comments like that about me. Oh, you're a teacher, how useless is that? Yes, well, I don't know. I obviously don't have a proper job like an estate agent, or an insurance salesperson, or indeed just a misanthrope. And by God, I'm being generous in the use of language around Carl, aren't I? But you can see it with the rest of them, yeah? They just hate people like me, despite the fact that, I am very, very ordinary and get on with things and pay my taxes and contribute to society in ways that they can only realistically dream of. And in terms of, being the majority, well, I think we'll find that in terms of people's attitude to the types of views that Carl holds, I tend to be on the right side of history. Anyway, do stay cool if you can do. I might have to go and rescue a pussycat soon. Yes, lots of nice cold milk for him. Num num num. Cat milk, by the way, it's lactose free. I'm not cruel. Do enjoy.